guys, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about external and internal locus of control. We all have these things that we want to do and we want to get done, and sometimes when the time comes we end up making excuses for ourselves and claiming that something happened that made this situation outside of our control, and whatever we had to do or get done would just couldn't happen. It was impossible. I can't run today because it's raining. I can't eat healthy because there's just no healthy food on campus. I can't do it. That's just not going to happen. It's out of my control, and there's nothing I can do about it. And doing that, like placing the control outside of yourself, is called having an external locus of control. So instead of having an external locus of control, you want to work on as much as possible. There's times when it can fluctuate, but you want to have more of an internal locus of control, which allows you to focus more on what you can bring to the situation rather than what is keeping you from doing what you want to do. So yeah, those things are always going to exist. You're always going to have things that make something harder just by chance, or just things get in your way, barriers. But the main thing to focus on is just what you can do to help yourself, rather than to sit back and say that I'm a victim of the situation and there's nothing I can do. You're generally more active in what you're trying to do and how you're thinking about your situations and what your goals are. If something isn't going well, it's easier to blame it on our environment than how effective we are in the situation. So it's almost a way of like understanding your accountability for your actions and distinguishing that from the uncontrollable things that are happening in your environment. So yeah, it may be raining, but you can still go run if you want to, and just making that excuse is easy, and you can just put it out of your mind right away if you do that. But if you have the internal locus of control, you can be like, all right, what do I need to do to get past this barrier, which isn't too hard. Simple example, just put on some more clothes or something like that. Internal versus external locus of control is just based mainly around how you perceive your situation. So whether or not you're going to say that, okay, well, what can I do to fix the situation or to make it better or to get past this barrier, instead of just saying like, oh, I'm a victim and this is what's going to dictate how this all goes. We often see this in like making excuses for ourselves. Being aware of your environment and how it affects you is important to understanding how you perceive it, and understanding that it is subjective. So knowing like when and how you'll react a certain way to something is important to like shifting your perception of that to something that you can change that will help the environment, rather than just dwelling on what's happening to you. So in the end, we always try to be in control as much as possible, but there are always going to be some things that are out of our control. So as much as we can strive to be as in control of our situation as possible, but we need to accept that sometimes there are things that are out of control, and there's always going to be a balance between those two things. Thanks guys. Comment below if you have any questions or comments, and be sure to check out our other videos.